Hello everyone, how's it going? Remember to hit the like and sub button trying to get to 2K. So Call of Duty, one of the biggest franchises on the planet. It is a largely popular series among a lot of gamers, and Xbox showcased the first gameplay for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Personally, I think Gears of War and Doom took the show for me, but a lot of people are hyped for this game, and there are pros and cons to this. So one thing that I would argue is just like, we should expect this type of stuff to become normalized. So Modern Warfare 2 and 3 content won't carry over to Black Ops 6. So whatever you bought there, for the most part, won't carry over there. It's expected. It is what happens with these types of titles to try and maximize profit. It's also a matter of coding and engineering problems, I would advise, because these games are in 3-year development periods, and while this game is in development, you can guarantee a brand new Call of Duty game is right now in development for next year's release. But yeah, it's also noted that this will be the first big game to come out to Game Pass in the Call of Duty franchise. They haven't announced if they're bringing the other games, but they did announce that this game will be the first one to come out on Game Pass. So yeah. Another really good positive news is that they're going back to the original ranking system for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where the rank is 1 to 55. The prestige ranks are limited to 10, with the final 10th prestige giving you an additional 1,000 levels. I guess it's for players who just want to keep going. And there is no seasonal cap, which I think is a brilliant concept. They're just saying, okay, let's just go back to the original system. It's a lot less complicated and it's simple to just execute, because you have to remember there are developers who work on this game, and making it too confusing for them and then for customers will just create a huge obtuse situation. So going to a more simplified system, I think, is for the best. But then we also have this type of system, which will lean into what I'm primarily going to talk about based on the title. So the Call of Duty store listed that Black Ops 6 would be 300 gigabytes, but this is for the entire Call of Duty app, which includes Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2's DLC, which is Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 6. So this is for the entire thing. And you should make note of this, because it turns out Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will require an online connection no matter what, even if you play single player. And the reason behind this is because of the high resolution textures. So to reduce the size of the game, they're basically using online services, cloud technology, in order to offset a lot of that processing power. So for everyone, including myself, who complains that Call of Duty just takes up way too much space to the point that you actually need a separate hard drive just to install the game, this is, I guess, their way of trying to, appease both sides, which makes no sense. Why not just compress the files, or maybe reduce the textures? I mean, at this point, can you really even tell the difference nowadays? Like, Call of Duty, even though I have my reservations about the game's gameplay and monetization practices, the graphics of the game have always looked spectacular. Heck, you can go back to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, which came out years ago, still looks absolutely brilliant. But yeah, when Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launches in October, players will be required to be online at all times no matter what they play. That means even playing the campaign requires an internet connection. So if you're one of those people who has a very poor internet connection, you're out of luck. To deliver the highest quality visuals while also reducing the game's overall storage space on your hard drive, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will use texture streaming across all game modes. Now, I'm almost guaranteed that this is going to completely flop at launch. Whenever a new Call of Duty game comes out, and I know I'm going to get heat for this despite the fact it's true, it always has major internet issues, netcode problems, server problems. Just look at every major Call of Duty release. Like, go on YouTube, put on the date for when a Call of Duty game releases, and you can see dozens, hundreds of YouTube videos showing how messed up the servers are. It usually takes like 6 to 8 months before they get everything working. And by then, the new Call of Duty game has already been announced. Like, remember, Modern Warfare 3, the DLC for Modern Warfare 2, it came out like 8 months ago. And now the servers are working pretty good right now. So I constantly say this, and everyone says I'm full of shit, despite the fact that the evidence is staring at you right in the face. This means you'll need a continuous internet connection to play any game mode, including campaign. If you're on console, campaign must be played can be played without a premium subscription service such as Game Pass Core or PlayStation Plus. That's for the online services. So that's a W, but we live in a world where now game publishers understand, like Sony and Microsoft, that having everyone tied down to a subscription services loses them money, because a lot more people play free to play games nowadays and they spend oodles of money on that stuff. So in that case, I understand where they're coming from, but guaranteed if they could make more money, they would 100% put this behind a paywall. With the new need to always be online, that means those in areas with poor network infrastructure, or those who may lose connection for whatever reason, won't be able to play any aspect of the game, or regions where people have no access to these types of services. There are regions of the world where PlayStation Network, like remember the Helldivers controversy, where you don't have access to PlayStation Network. Even if you get a PlayStation 5 through import in, it's still like you don't have access to it, and then you try and create a new account in a different region, and that's against the TOS, and you will get banned for that. So you're out of luck at that point. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 releases October 25th, yada yada yada, and day one on Game Pass. So yeah, so not only is this a big issue for game preservation, I know it's Call of Duty and people have their reservations about this game. I do as well. It's still like, so when this game's servers go offline, that's it. Gone, finito. If you think Activision Blizzard is going to put in extra money in order to try and make sure this game is playable offline, I just don't see that happening. Like, I don't know. Maybe they might, and I hope I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, that means that there is an offline mode for this game. They just don't want to give it to us at this point. They want us to have the online connection. The other option is, why not just make the textures less, profound? I know that seems maybe blasphemous among a lot of hardcore graphic enthusiasts, but I would rather take a slightly low textured wall over something that requires a constant internet connection. I think I'm in the majority there, where people would rather choose a low, like, I'm not talking about like N64 days. I'm talking about maybe just lower it a bit. It doesn't need to be, 24K textured wall. It could be a literal 1080p or 720p. I doubt everyone is going to even look at it. Like, at its core, a lot of people don't even look at the environments. And I know this for a fact because when I still go back to my Destiny 2 videos, the Red War first launch of the game, a lot of people thank me for actually looking around, because a lot of players don't look around and they missed out on a lot of stuff that they didn't look around for. So yeah, a lot of players are not going to notice if something is 1080p or 720p. Heck, a lot of people don't even have like 4K monitors, despite everyone wanting everything in 4K. So, I have a lot of issues with this, but this whole always online bullshit, I really venomously hate it, because Call of Duty already has a history of having problems at day one launches, especially with the netcode issues. Remember when Call of Duty Cold War launched? Dear God, that game was so broken and so